scrolling Twitter could actually be a productive activity. Welcome back to the Idea Supply Chain, where we take a look at where ideas come from and what makes those ideas valuable. Today, I wanted to share a thought that I had around making scrolling Twitter a valuable activity. I don't know about you, but I spend way too much time scrolling Twitter. I'm constantly using it to find inspiration, to connect with people, to just stay up to date because, god damn, there's just a lot of shit happening in the world right now. And specifically around AI, right? There's so many cool things happening. I'm kind of obsessed with trying to keep track of all of it. And it's hard. But I'm on there too much anyway. So I was like, well, what if I could actually make this something more productive? And so I've been playing around with a new tool called Cursor. It's basically Visual Studio Code, but with built in AI functionality. And you can either kind of tie in your own models or like your own API keys to access like Claude and, GPT-4, things like that. Or you can subscribe to the pro version and get access to kind of like their models and use their keys. And at $20 a month, it's actually a pretty decent deal. But I've been using that, and I've been using Claude on its own to write a lot more code. And so I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, I kind of want access to the tweets that I'm scrolling. But Twitter's changes to their API pricing made that not something I can just pull a bunch of things from their API. But what if I could scrape the tweets that I'm seeing? And so I was like, well, I'll just build a Chrome extension. And so I started building it out in Cursor, and I was like, okay, let's just start with kind of this scraping logic. And honestly, that was pretty easy. I was astonished at how quickly I was able to go from concept to working extension that is scraping tweets as I scroll them. And over the past few days, I've been building it out more and more because I was thinking, I was like, man, this is potentially really exciting. Because at first I was thinking, okay, I want to get people to scroll together. And so I was kind of building it out with kind of a community focus in mind. I was like, okay, what if we can all share the tweets that we scroll past as a way to discover things that, either we weren't looking for at the time or we weren't seeing at the time, and be able to set up some alerting like Google Alerts. Get emails of tweets that you might find interesting based on some topic that you're looking for. And so that was kind of the first idea there. And so I got that logic pretty well built out to where I could, scrape all of them and then search against the saved tweets. And so basically, I just throw them all in a Mongo database, and I've also got them stored in a Chroma vector database for really fast and easy searching. Threw up a nice front end that I can use to kind of search through the tweets that I've already scraped. And that was pretty cool. And I may do the alerting. I haven't decided yet. But then when I was thinking about this idea of how can I make scrolling productive, I thought, what if I could actually kind of do some analysis on the tweets that I'm scrolling and find content that I've already created, whether it be YouTube videos or blog posts or whatever, that might be relevant to what people are currently talking about. And so that led me down the line of like, I wonder if I can just set up a WebSocket connection that can automatically push things out to me on a periodic basis of like, hey, this is what people are talking about right now. Here's some content that you've created that you can tweet about. Because one of the things that I'm really bad at is sharing my work, because I tend to be very prolific. It's all out there, and I put it out there because I want to stop thinking about it. In all honesty, I'm taking it out of my head and putting it out on the internet so I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's out there. It's discoverable. But I never discover it. Um, and over the past few days, I've actually been going back and looking at some of my previous work because I saw some conversations that kind of sparked ideas. And so I went back to different projects where I've got like Building Public University, and I've got Hitchhiker's Guide to the Future, just a couple things. And I found some things that I'd written about like a year and a half ago that I was like, wow, some of these ideas that I've been working on lately actually rhyme a lot with the stuff that I was talking about before. It's very, very closely related. So, how can I start surfacing that stuff when either I'm talking about it or other people are talking about it? And so that's where I'm starting to go with this Chrome extension, because I think it's a really cool way to help me resurface things and to suggest them as like, hey, I can push this out there. Eventually, I may even automate it to where I just automatically tweet out things based on what I'm scrolling past. That way, I don't have to think about it at all. Um, and then it's like scrolling Twitter becomes a way to actually build my audience, because as I'm scrolling and seeing what everybody is tweeting about, then I can start tweeting about relevant things that I've created. That feels like a really cool use case. So, still early on in the project. I don't know exactly how this is going to go. I'm really doing it to just try to have fun with it and see where it goes. Um, I think it's really, really fascinating in a lot of different ways, especially when I kind of turn it into like multiplayer mode. And we can start kind of collectively scrolling. By the way, that's the name I came up with for it, Collective Scroll. Um, Totally a play off of the band Collective Soul, if you know them. Also, even had a little fun playing around with one of their album logos. But anyway, that's beside the point. Um, I think this is just kind of a really interesting experiment in terms of being able to take the stuff that we're already doing and make that more valuable. Um, because scrolling Twitter can be valuable, but it can also be very, very mind numbing and painful. And it's like you see all these things, you see what other people are doing, um, and it can be a little bit demoralizing at times. And you're like, oh, everybody's doing these really awesome things that are just, super successful and great, and I'm struggling, and that doesn't always feel good. But if I can make that scrolling at least work for me, to build an audience, to build trust, to share my work, whatever you want to call it, then suddenly I think it's going to be a lot more of a valuable use of my time. Maybe eventually I'll do nothing but scroll Twitter, and my army of AI agents will do everything that I need them to do while I just scroll Twitter. That actually feels like a pretty terrible existence. I don't want to just scroll Twitter all my life. So then I guess maybe then I just start having an AI scroll Twitter, and then I'll go live my life, and the AIs will do all of the building stuff for me. Um, Maybe that's a dream. I don't know. Let's find out. Anyway, wanted to share that because I thought it was a cool idea. I've been having fun with the project. I've been learning a ton. Cursor is really fucking cool. Um, I've played around with it in the past, and it wasn't very good, but that was pre Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Now that Sonnet is there and it works incredibly well, yeah, this is a bit of a game changer for me. So, um, really having a lot of fun doing that and just kind of developing this new style of coding, because um, it's definitely a different feel than the way I normally build products, because I'm not thinking about the little details as much. I'm letting Cursor kind of handle the overall context, and I just say, hey, it's doing this, or I need it to do this, or whatever. And it's like, great, here's the code. And so now I've got I've got my Chrome extension, I've got my Python backend, and I've got a Next.js front end, all kind of just part of the same project. And I can, quickly type out what I want it to do in any one of those projects, and it just does it. And it's really fucking cool. So excited to see where this goes. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll talk more about that process that I've been doing, and maybe show some examples and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of fun. So hopefully I'll have some pretty cool things to show off here in the next like week or two. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.